got tomorrow. So today choices we make
are for our children's sake. Our future is at stake, yeah. History will show that we all stood steadfast.
we overcame the task and won the battle at last.
This is who we are. Separation has brought us closer. This is who we are.
Love will bridge the distance between us.
Let the whole world know. Love is so infectious. Let love overflow. 'Cause this is who we are.
We know we can do this together.
This is who we are.
Together let me go. Can't hold me down now, make me done so. We have to separate so we can get back together again. And if you're ready, let me go. Alright.
One world, so we have to live together. One blood, looking out for one another. One love, to me sister and me brother. Even if you're rich or poor, white or black, it doesn't matter.
We've been tested before. Out victorious we came.
What we know for sure, we will rise again.
Together, better, stronger.
When the world closed, our hearts opened. When fear ruled, love also deepened. When borders closed, boundaries widened.
With no choice in one voice.
Let the whole world rejoice, from near and from far.
This is who we are.
This is who we are. 'Cause this is who we are. Love will bridge the distance between us. Let the whole world know that love is also infectious. Let love overflow. 'Cause this is who we are. 'Cause this is who we are.
Love will always bring us together. Love will always see us through. This is who we are.
I'm from a place, we accept every single race. Paradise is we name. Come over and you will fall in love. I should stay, have a special time of the year where we just get away. Most beautiful display. So search a million places, travel a million miles to find a vibe like this and have a time like this. You may have a million problems, need some place to ease your mind. Welcome to my place, oh yeah, with arms wide open. This place here is the sweetest place, my culture you can eat arms wide open. Promise you'll never be the same. Show you how we done celebrate. Jump all around and sound with us. Get all around and sound with us. Follow the round and sound.
Barbados is a beautiful island in the Caribbean that represents many things for many people. It is the perfect holiday getaway, a foodie paradise, the birthplace of rum, and the home of Rihanna. Welcome to Barbados.
Good morning and welcome to Passport DC at Home. I'm UC Skeet, your host for today's Escape to Barbados. Since 2013, we've all looked forward to welcoming you to the embassy at DC. But this year, with no Passport DC happening in May, we felt as though it was important to still share a taste of all that Barbados has to offer with you. But before we get started, please join me in welcoming our ambassador to the United States, His Excellency Noel A. Lynch, who will deliver some welcome remarks.
A warm Barbadian welcome to you all from our embassy in Washington, D.C. We are pleased to welcome you to our virtual event, Passport DC at Home, Escape to Barbados. At this time of the year, we would normally have you at our cozy embassy on Wyoming Avenue as you participate in the Around the World Embassy Tour organized by Cultural Tourism DC. We're always thrilled to work with Cultural Tourism DC on this Around the World Embassy Tour initiative. This event provides us the opportunity for residents and visitors to the district to experience the culture of several countries around the world without leaving home. Today we are doing so without even leaving our doors. We're used to having you here close, talking and laughing with us as you partake in our numerous cultural offerings, sample our traditional Bajan cuisine, dance to our vibrant soca music, and soak in our warm Barbadian spirit. However, the COVID-19 pandemic has meant that we have moved over to a virtual space, and today we will endeavor to give you a taste of that experience through this virtual medium. And I want to be the first one to welcome you and thank you for joining us. I invite you to sit back and soak in a slice of our authentic Barbadian spirit. We will tell you a little bit about what Barbados has to offer, about our unique tourism offerings, showcase some of our extraordinary cultural goods, our rich cultural heritage and history, and our world-renowned cuisine. In our programming today, you will learn about our little island offering big love. Barbados, the most easterly in the Caribbean chain, is indeed charmingly little, with a size of just 166 square miles and a population of just under 300,000 people. But we are, however, bursting with big personality and a big, rich cultural heritage. With stunning tropical landscapes and beautiful beaches, action-packed activities and attractions, vibrant festivals, and the best food in the Caribbean, glamorous Barbados has definitely got it all. If you dream of soft, sandy beaches, warm seas, gentle tropical breezes, and the friendliest, most engaging people, then I'm sure you're dreaming of Barbados. However, there's much more to us than just a tropical Caribbean paradise. With numerous events on offer, such as world-class sporting events and colorful festivals, including our exceedingly famous Crop Over Festival, which our very own Rihanna is hard-pressed to miss, then you are in for a treat in Barbados. Today, you will also learn about some of our most popular attractions, such as Oistins, Harrison's Cave, St. Nicholas Abbey, and St. Lawrence Gap, which is always brimming with exuberant nightlife. Find out why Barbados is called the birthplace of rum, and journey in time to take a glimpse of our UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The pandemic has, of course, caused an interruption in travel to our shores. But as we move towards some semblance of normalcy, as we continue to battle this life-altering virus, we have been upgrading our tourism offerings and stand ready to welcome you back with reinvigorated warmth, adventure, entertainment, excitement, tranquility, new friendships, and more with you on our beautiful shores. Today, you may not be able to throw back a rum punch or eat a fish cake or take a wine to a groovy soca beat, but we look forward to having you back at the Embassy in October of 2021 as embassies open their doors again to DC visitors and residents. We look forward to seeing you then. I am obliged to you. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Ambassador, and you've certainly set the stage for us to continue on our journey to the beautiful island of Barbados. Barbados is really an island that you can fully immerse yourself into all of the experiences that the island has to offer. It's such a safe island, so you're not stuck on a resort, but you can actually go out, do the things that the locals do, learn about our rich culture and our heritage, and really become a local right at home in Barbados, because that's what Barbados is all about. You come as a visitor, but you certainly leave as a friend. So speaking of never a dull moment in Barbados, I'm delighted to introduce you to some of our vibrant culture and festivals and some of the great attractions that awaits you when you visit our island. So from the origins of the Tuck Band, which is very unique to Barbados, there's nothing like a Tuck Band party, or our Cropover Festival, the sweetest summer festival there is. And then if you want to enjoy some of our nature, Crispin will take you on a great little tour to a sanctuary in St. Philip on the island. And finally, St. Nicholas Abbey, one of the only 2 Jacobean mansions still around. So come with me on this journey and experience our culture and the amazing attractions available on our island.
A cultural showcase with its roots as far back as the late 1700s, the Crop Over Festival began on plantations across the island as a celebration of the culmination of the sugarcane harvest. Over time, this tradition declined, but the festival was revived in the 1970s as a cultural celebration for Barbadians and visitors alike. Crop Over is now one of the biggest and most sought-after cultural festivals of the Caribbean. While it remains a symbolic representation of the end of the sugarcane harvest, it is also a time for national merriment, cultural competitions, the Kadooment and 4-day morning street parades, and a variety of public and private events for every interest and price point. Our warm turquoise waters and attractions, Barbados offers an experience to behold. We are a clean, safe, and secure destination with a hospitable people. Our accolades and awards are many and include the safest destination in the Caribbean. But nothing compares to the hospitality of the average Barbadian. Crop Over presents the perfect opportunity to feel this energy. It's a time to experience camaraderie, fond spirit of friendship and family, our culture, food, revelry, history, and art forms, as well as our uniqueness and our sense of self. Whether you join for the spectacle or to be a part of our amazing festival, the Crop Over season offers a sense of togetherness which cannot be rivaled.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Crispin Hackett from the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. and I'm here at Marizar's Sanctuary. Nature at its finest. Believe you me, it is. I only just walked through the gate and already I have two friends joining me and they're apparently my tour guides for today. Anytime you're in beautiful Barbados, in fact, let's rephrase that. When you come to beautiful Barbados, this is the place you have to come to, located in the beautiful parish of St. Philip. I have here with me Mr. Ryan Ennis, the caretaker, the mother and the father of all the beautiful animals that we have here. And let me tell you, this is the most interactive sanctuary you'd find anywhere in the Caribbean. This is the place to come to. If you want soft adventure, you have it here. Let's take a look.
Hi guys, and welcome to the Marizar Sanctuary experience. Again, as Crispin said, this is the Marizar Sanctuary where you get to be interactive with lots of the animals here. So today we're actually going to start with Sage. Sage is a West Indian iguana. Again, as he said, lots of these animals were hand raised, and here at the sanctuary you get to interact with these animals as you come into the sanctuary. Over on Crispin's side, this is the West Indian side. This is actually the Indian ringneck parakeet, and her name is Sunshine. You too can interact with Sunshine as you come over this side. Okay guys, so I'm here with my co-host Sage, and this is Rio. Rio is a blue and gold macaw from the country of Bolivia. Now these guys can live pretty long. They can live up to at least about 90 years in the wild. Okay, here at the sanctuary he's very passive. So when you come over, you can come sit on the bench and you can actually interact with Rio. Hi guys, so we are back here and we're going to get interactive with some of the animals that we have here. First of all, I'm going to bring an animal and Crispin is actually going to help me with this animal. Up next we have, his name is Cheeto. He's actually a leopard gecko. So these are very passive animals here and they're actually they make really great pets. So Crispin, you can tell me the experience that you're having right now?
Right now this is very interactive. I know we used that word earlier, but this is real as it gets, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's the Marizura Sanctuary experience.
Exactly, all the time. This is where you need to come to. He's so cool and relaxed though, just chilling there. Look at that. Yeah, and let me tell you, the kids are gonna love it here. Very friendly and inclusive for everyone.
Remember here, Crispin, at the Sanctuary, we like to say it's a college. You come, we teach you lots of stuff, and we give you interaction with animals, and you leave with no fears, and you have lots of knowledge within you.
All right, so why the name Cheeto though?
He actually looks like a teacher.
Ah, makes sense. Okay.
Right, so as we place him back in the exhibit, we have one more animal who actually guards here at the Sanctuary.
Can't wait to see what this is.
And this animal is actually a ball python. Again, guys, all right, so when we first came to the Sanctuary, Crispin was telling me that, you know, he's all excited to get interactive with the animals. So here at the Sanctuary today, we offer the experience, the Marizura Sanctuary experience, guys. Nature at its finest. This is where you get interactive with the animals. You cool, Crispin?
I am good. My heart is in my hand.
Oh, don't worry about that.
I can tell you, when you come to Barbados, this is the best experience. In St. Philip, ask for Marizura Sanctuary, nature at its finest. See you soon.
Bye-bye, guys.
Hello, how are you? Welcome to St. Nicholas Abbey. We are a authentic Caribbean destination for heritage attractions based in the north of the island, and we welcome you to Barbados. Our family has made an effort to try and preserve this architectural masterpiece. It's a true 17th century residence that has remained virtually unchanged for the last 350 years. On top of the mansion, which is effectively English design, you can see the chimneys on the top. These are remnants of the design that would have come over from England, and the craftsmen in those days would have built it exactly as the drawings showed. So we have fireplaces in two of the back bedrooms. The lower part of the house is open to the public, because we also feel that it's really important that we don't give away too much. Imagination is a wonderful thing, and for the home to exist as a home and not such a commercial entity, we feel it's important that they showcase the upstairs in photographs, and we keep the bottom area open to the public. We also have a wonderful museum that has a film that was photographed in 1935. It survived all these years and showcases Barbados and the plantation in that time. We are also a working distillery. I alluded to the fact that we are trying to sustain this wonderful property, 400 acres, which has remained virtually unchanged, and the distillery is the major manufacturing component to the sustainability. Our award-winning rum is produced in this distillery, which is a hybrid developed for us to really handcraft the rum. And that's what our ethos is about, quality and tradition. We want to bring a handcrafted product that gives a story about who we are and how we make things of quality in Barbados. And as I mentioned before, the whole notion of involving the visitor in the production of our products is a meaningful way for them to take away their experience when they leave Barbados. We also have a Victorian steam railway that is just recently opened that creates a base and for the attraction that allows more participation for families. And we feel that this is important, that you create an attraction that has a full scope for everyone to understand and enjoy. The railway, it takes a wonderful trip across the fields and open spaces of the plantation. It then meanders through very dramatic rock cuttings created for it, mahogany forests and a quarry, which was a disused quarry, before ending up at the iconic view of Cherry Tree Hill. The railway was a concept that was brought to us and offered a complementary attraction, in that it was not like a Disney World type of operation, but really a gritty Victorian railway. But right away, we have seen a great improvement in the younger generations, the children coming to enjoy it, and they're then able to experience St. Nicholas Abbey. Together, all of this is a authentic product that we feel would be a real benefit to visitors coming here. And we would like to wish you all the very best to stay in Barbados and enjoy the friendly nature of our people, which is, after all, one of the main reasons for coming to the island, aside from our beautiful beaches. Thank you very much.
I don't know about you, but I am so ready to visit Barbados. And visiting Barbados from here in the US is easier than ever before. You have the options to fly nonstop from Miami International, Charlotte Airport in North Carolina, Newark in New Jersey, JFK in New York, and you can also fly from Boston in Massachusetts. And all these gateways offering seamless connections from many other locations across the US. Barbados has certainly ensured that safety is a priority. And even as we navigate the COVID pandemic, I can assure you that every measure has been taken to ensure that your experience in Barbados is both a safe and enjoyable one. But when you visit the island, there's something that you will notice from the time you arrive and you have your first meal. There's nothing like a dining experience in Barbados. Barbados is the first and only Zagat-rated island in the entire Caribbean. And Zagat has actually called us the culinary capital of the Caribbean, with more restaurants per capita than any other destination in the Caribbean, and also offering such diversity, from open-air alfresco dining at the Oystins Fish Fry to fine dining at some of our amazing restaurants. You certainly will recognize quite quickly that Barbados truly is the epicenter for culinary experiences. And today, to just share with you some of the amazing culinary offerings available on the island, I'm going to introduce you to some of our chefs on the island, some of my favorite award-winning chefs. Chef Craig Greenwich, one of my personal favorites, who's also the Embassy Chef Challenge winner in Washington, D.C. We have Chef Alicia Stout, who's cooking from a more eco-friendly perspective, more vegan options. She's also going to be sharing something special with you. Chef Damien Leach, he has brought authentic Barbadian cuisine and put a modern touch to it. And he can be found at Cocktail Kitchen in Barbados. And for those of you, if you're like me and you have a sweet tooth, Chef Alicia Olton will certainly take you on that dessert journey when it comes to culinary in Barbados. So there's so much for you to enjoy, so many great dining experiences. But now, I'll let the chefs introduce you to some of our Barbadian cuisine.
Hey guys, Chef Craig Greenwich here, and today I'm going to prepare Barbadian fish cakes with a brown sugar and mustard tartar sauce. So what we did, we already made our fish cake batter, and in here we have salted cod, which has been boiled twice until it's softer, but we still have the amount of salt in it that it still is palatable for you. We took that, we cooled that, we shredded that, chopped onion, chopped garlic, chopped dill, very fine chopped Scotch bonnet pepper, onion, and we put that all together. And then what we did is we added 1 part saltfish to 2 parts flour. We added baking powder, we added 2 teaspoons, and then we added our water just to bring it together to this texture that we have right here. So the texture we're looking for is one where you can shape it, but still it's not too heavy. So what we're going to do for our tartar sauce, we're going to start with 3 parts mayonnaise. We're going to also add 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of Barbadian pepper sauce. We're going to add 1 part mustard, and then we're going to finish off with some fresh lime. Right, so basically we just stirring together. We're going to emulsify everything together, allow the sugar to dissolve and get all of our flavors balanced. So what we do, we shape the batter to the side of the bowl. And once you got the right amount, and you can pick it up, you go ahead, you drop it in. And while you're dropping, you just dip into the oil, which eliminates the sticking. So the batter comes off with a spoon a lot cleaner and goes in also a lot easier. So you're going to continue to flip them just to make sure they're golden brown. They don't have to be perfectly brown, they just got to be cooked and crunchy. Crunchy on the outside, light on the inside. All right guys, so we finished frying and it's time to plate up. We're going to use some nice fresh baby spinach as our garnish, as the base of our plate. So just going to spread it out nicely. And then we're going to stack our fish cakes right on top. So next we're going to go on to our tartar sauce. Bajan fish cakes with our brown sugar and mustard tartar sauce.
We are love. We are love. Barbados.
My name is Alicia Stout and I'm the executive chef at Eco Lifestyle and Lodge. And today I'm going to quickly show you how to create the Eco Green Smoothie Bowl, which is one of our popular vegan breakfast options on our menu. In our green smoothie bowl, we always have local greens. Today I'm going to use spinach and moringa. I'm going to use a little bit of our fresh made almond milk. Some chia seeds as well. I'm also going to throw in some passion fruit pulp, a little bit of freshly squeezed lemon juice. I always put a pinch of salt in everything that I make. So I'm going to put some frozen cantaloupe into the blender along with some frozen plantain. And we basically blend that up. You want to get a nice consistency. You want it to be kind of slush. So once we have the desired consistency with the smoothie, I'm going to pour it into this bowl. Then I'm going to top it with our Eco homemade granola, some chia seeds. We like to use the same fruit fresh that we've used frozen to put on the top of the bowl for garnish. A little more of the passion fruit pulp and some edible flowers.
We are love. We are love. Barbados.
My name is Alicia Olton. I'm a pastry chef here at the Coral Reef Club, and I'm going to show you how to make one of our desserts in just 5 minutes. Today we're going to start with a fresh pineapple. We're going to peel the pineapple. Now that we've peeled the pineapple, we're going to cut it into slices. And then using a corer, we're going to take out the center or the heart of each pineapple. Next, we're going to heat the sugar. As the pan heats up, you're going to see that the sugar is going to start to dissolve and then it's going to turn to a caramel brown, to which then we will add the butter and then add the pineapples. We're going to let them caramelize on each side for about 30 to 45 seconds. And lastly, we're going to add some Mount Gay Eclipse rum to flambe the pineapples. When the pineapples are finished flambéed, we are going to plate the dessert now. This is our homemade rum and raisin ice cream. It's made with same Mount Gay Eclipse rum. We are going to add our dehydrated pineapple chip and a fresh mint leaf. And there you have flambéed pineapple with a Bajan rum and raisin ice cream.
We are love. We are love. Barbados.
Hey guys, Damien Leach here from Cocktail Kitchen, and today we're going to do a 5-minute dish. It's going to be a spiced bake with saltfish and a Bajan pepper sauce aioli. First we're going to start with the dry ingredients. We have flour here first, then some white sugar, the spices. Today we use cumin, cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg, and some curry. Give the dry ingredients a little mix. Now we're going to get the wet ingredients. Got some water, some milk, and some melted butter. We're going to whisk all this up until it gets smooth. Once that is all smooth, hit it with a little bit of salt and a little black pepper. Now we move on to the saltfish. The saltfish has just been boiled to get rid of some of the excess salt. I boil it twice, and then we frizzle it. I'm going to add some finely diced red onions, some fresh cilantro, and some Bajan pepper sauce. I'm going to give this a mix. Now we move on to the Bajan pepper sauce aioli. Very simple. You take some mayonnaise, Bajan pepper sauce, a little salt and pepper. Now we're going to fry up our bakes. I like to use a non-stick pan with some oil in it, medium heat. Then we're going to add our bake mixture. We're going to fry these, get a nice golden brown color on both sides. Then we're going to take it out and put it in a paper towel to drain off some of the excess oil. Now that our bakes are finished, we're going to go ahead and plate up. First thing is the Bajan pepper sauce aioli. It's in the squeeze bowl. Give it a little design on the plate. Then we're going to place our bakes. Top it off with our saltfish mix. A little more pepper sauce aioli. And finish with some micro herbs.
We are love. We are love. Barbados.
Welcome back, and now I'm getting very hungry just from seeing some of those delights prepared by our award-winning chefs. For me, when I think of Barbados, I also think of our rich history and our heritage. And in 2011, Barbados received the inscription of the UNESCO World Heritage Site for Bridgetown and its historic garrison. Historic Bridgetown and its garrison is an outstanding example of British colonial architecture, and is consisting of well-preserved old town built in the 17th, 18th, and 19th century. And this really is testimony to the spread of Great Britain's Atlantic colonial empire. I now invite you to come on a historical tour of Bridgetown and its historic garrison, and really you'll be able to uncover some of the traditional landmarks. You will also be able to discover some of the amazing buildings within the Bridgetown and its historic garrison.
Barbados has been called the colony that founded colonies, with historic linkages to the United Kingdom, the Carolinas in the United States, and throughout the wider Caribbean. But none of this would be possible without the key hub of Bridgetown and its garrison. Explore historic relics like the last remaining screw dock in the world, or visit one of its several museums with the family, shop, have lunch, or take a glimpse into the island's military past. Come discover historic Bridgetown and its garrison. A lot of hybrid architecture was born here, like Barbados' Chattel House, which is a unique blend of Victorian and West African design. But hey, architectural purists, you're also in luck. I'm talking about churches and 17th century Parliament buildings. In addition to the Parliament buildings, Bridgetown holds several other examples of architectural majesty and history within its borders. So let's take a look with historian Morris Greenwich.
The architecture of the city is eclectic. It's all over the place. Georgian, Edwardian, Victorian. The church buildings all have a beautiful texture, but most of it is, of course, Georgian. That is the structure with the door in the center and the windows at equidistance across the front.
This building had a severe fire in 1897. It's completely redone. The walls remain. The roof, I think, was damaged as well. But it is really a testament to the Irish regiments who were in Barbados.
The Mutual building is a beautiful building. It has its cupolas. Some people think it looks like the American Supreme Court. To my mind, it's the most beautiful building in the city.
The most iconic images of Bridgetown always show the serene waters of the Careenage, accompanied by other beckoning landmarks dotted across the cityscape. These structures have become landmarks for both locals and tourists alike, and they include monuments, fountains, squares, and green spaces that all speak to the historic significance of Bridgetown. We offer you an open invitation to come to Barbados and discover these iconic sites in historic Bridgetown. When cruise visitors to the island leave their port of entry to head into Bridgetown, the first thing that greets them is the scenic Travers Way and renowned arts and crafts center, Pelican Village. The UNESCO Heritage Site designation highlights Bridgetown's unique serpentine layout of its streets. And 400 years later, this network of streets are all still very much in use and are the veins that lead to the hub of commercial and social activity into Bridgetown for tourists and locals alike. To have a better idea of how historic Bridgetown evolved to modern-day Bridgetown, renowned historian Morris Greenwich is here to help.
From around 1650, when sugar became the dominant crop, and of course after sugar, rum, Barbados and Bridgetown became a very, very important entrepot. And serious trade came through Barbados from London to the colonies. In fact, at one stage, Barbados had even superseded places like Boston and New Amsterdam, now New York. But this is the spot in Bridgetown that was the port. Until 1965, this was the major area of transshipment and shipments between the Caribbean and Barbados. Across the water, you have all of the warehouses from which sugar would have been left overnight if the trucks came in, and then put on the boats, and into which things like rice and other goods from the rest of the Caribbean would be deposited. In 1960, the port was open, 1960-61, but still up until 1965, you had the inter-island schooners here. And all of this infrastructure around here, beginning with what is now the First Caribbean Bank, that was the colonial bank. After emancipation around 1835, that became the financier for post-emancipation trade in the whole Caribbean. The story of rum literally begins in Bridgetown itself. You have very important spots, one of course at Magazine Lane and Robert Street, and you are right here by the Spirit Bond, which would have been the central spot for inspection of spirits out and spirits in. The other more important buildings in the rum trade are scattered around Bridgetown, going from Fort Royal Garage down to Cheapside. The name Cheapside is English for a market town where you can get stuff at low prices, hence Cheapside. But one of the important things is that rum was lodged from all of the merchants inside the market space. And after that, you had the little markets around town coming into the Cheapside market. And this area has become a very busy space.
Although Barbados is only 166 square miles in size, the island is said to have over 100 religious denominations in active practice. Today we're meeting up with local historian Morris Greenidge, who has a wealth of knowledge in this area. So we're going to find out now a lot more about religion in Bridgetown. We're sitting here right now with St. Michael's Cathedral behind us. This area is called Church Village. I know that's significant.
And we think of parishes, because every parish had its church. And St. Michael's, of course, was the major parish, the parish of the Indian Bridgetown, the settlement of the capital. So you had all of these parish churches, St. Michael's having the major church, in fact, two major churches, because this chapel here behind us is the second location for the St. Michael's Church. The first is the spot at the other end of town. This is the eastern end of the city, and St. Mary's Chapel now is on the western end, where the first St. Michael's Church was. The last of the major religions would have been the Roman Catholics, who were here very early. Some of them were Irish. They could not publicly worship. They had to hide in caves and worship. But then when the Irish regiments came, they were allowed after 1840 to worship publicly.
The story of Jewish history in Barbados is a prolific one. So to find out more, we've come here to the oldest consecrated synagogue in the Western Hemisphere, located right here in the heart of Bridgetown. Sir Paul Altman is a descendant of Jewish faith and the driving force behind the restoration of the synagogue.
The story of this synagogue, as I said, built in 1654, a lot of it was destroyed by a very bad hurricane of 1831. So in 1833, what we see here was rededicated. The mikveh was a very important part of the religion. We've always built the mikveh first. This was built before the synagogue. The synagogue is 1654, this is older.
It is the former home of the British Army and Navy headquarters in the Eastern Caribbean, and it has remained virtually unchanged for 200 years. Welcome to St. Anne's Garrison. Much of this military history is frozen in time at the National Armory, where glimpses of the past can be seen through weaponry used to defend the island. But there is more to the site than the eye can see. Let's head underground. With the days of war far behind, the St. Anne's Garrison is now home to two major museums, the site of the symbolic changing of the guard and horse racing.
Welcome back, and I hope that you've enjoyed that historical journey through historic Bridgetown and its garrison. As we move on today, it is time for someone to win hotel accommodation in Barbados. So I know I've been telling you to come with me on this journey, and I want to share all that Barbados has to offer with you. But it's only fair that I share the opportunity for someone to win a hotel accommodation stay in Barbados for 4 days, 3 nights. So we're going to see who that lucky person is going to be. But before we do so, let me just give you a glimpse of where you will be staying in Barbados. Who's ready to win that stay to the Sandpiper in Barbados? And our lucky winner today is Vicky Oltman. Vicky Oltman, you're the lucky winner of our first giveaway for today to the Sandpiper Hotel in Barbados. But now we're going to move along to exploring the arts and craft shops in Barbados, as well as the incredible fashion that's available. When you visit Barbados, you're enjoying a world of bespoke tropical island art that's made with a lot of love and a whole lot of skill. And we have some amazing, talented artisans in Barbados who will create some of the most perfect gifts that will allow you to bring a piece of Barbados back home with you. Today, I have the distinct opportunity to be joined by one of these incredible artists on the island, fashion designer Shanika Burnett. I would love for you to learn more about all that Shanika has to offer. So Shanika, welcome to Passport DC at Home.
Hi, good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Good afternoon. How are you doing, Shanika?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. I'm so happy that you're able to join us live from Barbados and tell us a lot about all that persons can expect from you and your business when they visit the beautiful island of Barbados. So I know you're from Shakad Eco Lifestyle. So just tell us a little bit, Shanika, about Shakad Eco Lifestyle.
Shakad Eco Lifestyle is a Caribbean-inspired luxury resort brand. Our main focus is using original hand-dyed textiles produced right here in Barbados by our sister company, Aisa Textile Design. So we create a range of products. My end is really clothing and accessories, but we also have a line of home furnishings and other accessories for the home as well.
Okay, awesome. How long have you been a fashion designer, and how did you get into the whole idea of becoming a fashion designer?
Well, I've been a fashion designer formally for about 12 years, but my entire life I've been surrounded by the cultural and heritage aspects of Barbados. My family has been in the cultural industries from the time I've known myself. My mom is a textile artist. My dad is a calabash and artist and potter. And I have spent my vacations working alongside them, attending the various festivals and trade fairs. So it's always been a part of me. And upon leaving school, I was trying to find a gown for graduation, and I came up with dozens of designs, and that's where my passion really started for fashion specifically. But I consider myself to be a cultural practitioner in general.
Okay, awesome. And did you always want, I know you've been surrounded by it, but were you always pursuing this path of becoming a fashion designer? Or did you kind of like make your way back to it? How
Well, funny enough, I kind of fought against it for a while, and I tried to pursue other things. I attended University of the West Indies, and I was doing law and economics. But during that process, I got the opportunity to go to Caribbean Fashion Week to showcase my first collection, and I took a leave of absence, and the rest is history.
Okay, so from economics and law to now being the owner of your own business, that really speaks to the remarkable resilience and focus that you've had as a very young person. But tell me, and I'm going to be a bit selfish here. I know you talked about designing your own gown, etc. Do you only design for women's wear, or you do both male and female designs? What's your specialty?
My specialty is female wear, but I have designed pieces for men. I've done some formal pieces for weddings and pageants. So most of my menswear are ordered and custom made specifically for them. But I've been getting a lot of questions about it, so I'm really going to consider including a male collection in my next line.
I'm very happy to hear that, because I was going to challenge you and tell you that I'm going to have to come and get one of these Chicad Eco Lifestyle designs from you so that I can have my own. So the next time that I'm at Passport DC, when it's not at home, but when it's actually live at the embassy, that I can be wearing one of your pieces. But is there what is really unique that you would say about what you create, about the fabrics that you use? Like, what is the one thing that you think is very unique and has been your focus when it comes to your designs?
Well, the focus for my fabrics, my main focus is using eco-friendly materials and using an ethical process in the construction and the making of the fabrics, and as well as the process in terms of the making of the garments. So I always had a love for bold, beautiful textiles, very colorful patterns and prints. And I found that the dyes which you need to use to adhere to the synthetic fabrics are way more harsh on the environment. And that kind of directed me in my pursuit of using mainly natural fabrics, although I'm still doing research and trying to find ways that I can be even more environmentally friendly, because I'm aware of the water usage and the other problems that the industry creates. And that has also led me to experiment with recycling and using like all of my ends of fabric. So I've started to create lines of accessories where I use all of the ends of fabric so that there's a lot less wastage.
Wow, I'm really impressed, Shanika, especially as a small island developing state like Barbados. We know about the vulnerabilities that small island developing states have because of size, remoteness, etc. And to think that you have taken the approach about being an ethical designer, about being focused on preserving the environment, which is so essential to not just small island developing states, but more importantly, small island developing states that are heavily reliant on tourism. So I really want to give you kudos for contributing to ensuring that we preserve the environment of Barbados. I think for me, that's even more reason why I want to make sure that I'm purchasing one of your pieces, because you're not just a great fashion designer from what I've seen and from what I've heard, but also you're actually taking a very ethical approach to how you do your business. And I think that that is absolutely remarkable. So tell me, if I wanted to find Shanika on a visit to Barbados, where can I find you, and where can I place an order, or even learn more about what you have on offer?
Okay, if you come to Barbados, I am located at shop number 8, Pelican Craft Center, which is located in Pelican Village, Bridgetown. It's very near to the Bridgetown port. It's very easy to find. The name of our store there is called Aisa Textile Designs, the textile gallery of the Caribbean. You can also find me on Instagram and on Facebook. My handle there is Shakad Eco Lifestyle, and you can send me an email at Shakad Designerwear, SAKAD-DESIGNERWEAR @ gmail.com, or you can visit our sister website, Aisa Textile Designs, AYISSATEXTILEDESIGNS .com, sorry, and you can place orders there. You can contact us there as well, but you will find the full range of our home furnishings and the smaller accessories on that site. We're working to get the fashion aspect online as well, but because we are accustomed doing so many custom orders, I'm still trying to find a way to streamline that, but that will be available very, very soon.
Sounds great to me. So we're visiting you at shop number 8 in Pelican Village in Bridgetown, Barbados. And as you said, very close to the Bridgetown port. Lots on offer there, and they'll get to meet you and get something custom made. So they can come down, see you, place an order, and then come back and collect it to take it home with them if they wanted the custom piece. Yes? Okay, perfect. So I can't let you go without asking you one last question, Shanika. If there was one word that could describe the pieces that you create, what would that word be?
Well, yesterday, when I was asked that question, the word that I gave was timeless, and upon thinking about it more, I'm thinking wearable art. I think that tells the story of my pieces.
Well, it seems that that's the question that you've been getting quite frequently. So since you said to whoever asked you yesterday, timeless, I'm just going to say Shakad Eco Lifestyle by Shanika Burnett is timeless wearable art. How's that?
Yes, that is perfect.
Shanika, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us and sharing about your incredible designs. And I think it's so great for us to speak about it. But more importantly, we have the opportunity now to just show our audience a glimpse of some of the incredible work that you have done in an ethical way to bring your personal line to fruition. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully I'll see you in Barbados soon.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Shanika Burnett, and now let's take a look at some of her amazing designs.
Vanna in a dancehall style. I love you like manga. Better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. Me say me love you like manga. I better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. Tell you what I want to. Need a minute of your time. Look at me closely, coming and tell you no lie. Won't compete with no other. Where you feel like me and try. Such a sweetie, skin clean, well meant to clear up your signals. Me love you like manga. Better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. Me say me love you like mango. I better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. Should I meet you first, cause the rest of them did have a waste man vibes. Can't believe how you're patient, intelligent and kind. Quick suggestion, meet me at the clock, halfway 3 stoplight. Make quick jump on a bus down a town, me will show you my side. Me love you like manga, sure. I better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. Me say me love you like mango. I better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice. Feeling alright, honey, I just want to say it. You mess with my meds, but in the best way. Giving me hope for the future, cause I see you there. Grateful for you, babe. So glad you care. I love you like mango. I better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice and something. But say me love you like mango. I better you give me some loving. See how far we can go. Imagine it be nice. Imagine it feel nice. Imagine it would feel nice. I love you like. Me say you're sweet like. And you just do it right. I love you like. You do it right. You feel nice. Mango time. Hey, hey.
Welcome back, and that was some incredible work and some incredible designs by Shanika Burnett from Jacquard Eco Lifestyles. But we've just left shop number 8 at Pelican Village, and we're going to journey over to shop number 17, where we'll speak with Jamal Eiffel, another amazing and talented Barbadian who's brought his work just not for locals, but his work has also traversed international locations. And I'm so excited to chat with Jamal and learn more about his unique talent and how he's been able to turn that talent into a business. Jamal, welcome.
Hi, hello.
How are you doing, Jamal?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm great, thanks. I'm very excited to chat with you today because you are focused on some very unique jewelry as well as lamp making, which you've really been able to distinguish yourself as an artist and as an entrepreneur. So tell me a little bit about your business and how you got started.
Well, I actually stumbled upon the lamp working process at a very young age. I was actually wandering through Pelican and I was actually looking for some work when I saw the reflection of a paperweight. Not knowing exactly what it was, but just curious, I wandered into one of the shops here where I met one of the tenants. And this gentleman was talking to me about what the process was and what it was involved in it. And he worked with something called soda lime glass. Now, they use that material to do glass blowing, and they form the glass using a furnace and some different types of equipment. So it created these wonderful paperweights and these vases, and I was so fascinated because I've never seen anything like that. So I was immediately taken. But he started telling me about classes, and I wasn't able to actually afford them. So I was halfway out the door when he was talking about a work trade, and then I just decided to tell me that I can probably pass back for the next few weeks to probably start that work trade. And then that's how I actually got in. I started just using a work trade, and that's how I started my career as a flame worker.
Awesome, that's so great. How long have you been doing it? And I mean, I know you've launched Crystal Farms, that's the name of your business, which is in Pelican Village, but how long have you been doing it?
Well, September this year will be 18 years that I've been doing it. I've been at it for 18 years. My specialty is the contemporary jewelry, like refraction, using a non-traditional crystal like borosilicate crystal. Normally, designers will use lead crystal, lead oxide in the mix would give you a higher refractive index. The borosilicate, I was a little, I wanted to be a little different, so I decided to use the borosilicate. I used my skills using the borosilicate crystal. And it's rather than using a machine facet, I decided to use just handmade tools to create a different facet effect. And I also use things like vaporized silver, vaporized 24 karat gold to achieve different effects. And I actually mix the gold and mix the silver, slightly different techniques, so that you can get a unique color. So that when you do get your specific piece, it belongs to you. It does not belong to anyone else except for you.
I love the intricacies of your work and the attention to detail that you play. And I think one of the things that is so distinct, especially when we visit anywhere, but more importantly, when persons come to Barbados, that they want to take that unique piece back, that they can say, I got this in Barbados. And I mean, that is something like even myself, whenever I come back home, I'm always looking to get an amazing piece that I can bring back, that I can show off to my friends and family when they come over to say, hey, I got this in Barbados on my last visit. So can you tell me a little bit about your pieces? Like, what is the most memorable piece that you've created, or the most amazing experience you've had thus far with the creation of a piece since you started your business?
I've had some. I have actually several different unique experiences. My work has. I've been asked to make work for Princess Anne when she visited Barbados from the OECD. I've also been asked to make work for the Duchess of Cornwall, and that was done to our first female prime minister. So I'm very happy about that. And to be quite frank, the pieces just get better and better to me. Like when I look back at some of the pieces from years ago, I would say, well, Princess Anne has a wonderful piece, but then I think Duchess of Cornwall has something just a little bit more unique than what was done. Um, I've so they received writing instruments, so it wasn't just jewelry that I made. I've also made, like to celebrate my 10th year, I've made table lamps. So I've only made about 5 or 6 table lamps, and one of those table lamps ended up at the charitable trust here, the Sandland charitable trust that we have here. So it was very good to know that it was being put to use to help children's charity and so forth. Second lamp went to Belgium. One of my third lamps has ended up on a ship, and they're just traveling. They're traveling for me.
Okay,
well, it's wonderful to know that they're doing a bit of travel.
That's really good. So I'm going to tell you now, I'm not traditional royalty, but I expect that your 5th lamp is going to make its way to my house. And that one you're going to say is even more unique than any of the lamps that you've made before. Do we have a deal on that?
Yeah, we have a deal because now that it's coming up to my 20th year, I will be making another collection of lamps. So the styles and the way how I do them will be unique from the first one. So I had quite a lengthy time to think about how I was going to construct it and what materials I was going to use. So yes, definitely we have a deal on that one.
Okay, perfect. So I have 2 more questions for you. One, if someone comes to the island and they're there for 5 nights, 6 nights, and they want to get a special custom piece made, is that enough time for them to get something special created in time for them to take it back with them? Or what's the process?
That's a good question. It all depends on what type of piece that they would like. If it is something small and intricate, I would prefer, like say my writing instruments, I would prefer 2 weeks on those. I like to have it and have it for a while, and then sometimes in making the piece, I do like to take my time because some of the more intricate design pieces, they require a little bit of more detail to them. So I do also have a what I call a fun and flirt collection. A lot of clients actually love that collection. It's more like type of trinkets, and just small pieces that just remind people of the island life. So from the fur collection, definitely they can have a piece within those 5 days. But for some of the other more intricate pieces, which require more detail, I would like to prefer it's 2 weeks or so to get started on it.
Okay, perfect. So since we know there's a 2-week window, ideally, so you can really create something extra special, tell us how persons can view your work or how they can reach you, where they can find you in Barbados as well.
I'm in Sean, I'm 17 in Pelican Craft Center. Being that we're going through the COVID process, I only operate from, I don't have walk-ins anymore, so we only do things mainly by online. So you can always find me on my Instagram, which will have mostly fun and flirt collections. That's Glassman in Pelican. It's very easy.
Okay, Glassman in Pelican. Okay.
Yes. But there's also my email if you want to reach me about the lookbooks, my recent lookbooks. I try to create lookbooks every 18 months with the more intricately detailed collections. So every 18 months, there should be something new that I would have, slight alterations. My first lookbook was a very serious collection. My second lookbook was a bit toned down. So I've introduced a bit more color, but it's mainly about the light refraction, the detail, and how the pieces are actually executed, how the techniques are executed. So regarding the lookbook, you would have to email me, and I can send you the most recent lookbook or the previous one, and we can get the ball rolling from there. My email address is crystalforms, Forms, not Farms, at 0 at gmail.com. So it's crystal, forms0 at gmail.com. And once you request a lookbook, I can, and you express interest in a few of the pieces, then we can get going from there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Jamal. You've heard it from Jamal himself. Crystal Man in Pelican, that's where you can find him.
Glassman in Pelican on my Instagram.
Oh, sorry, Glassman in Pelican.
Yeah.
On Instagram, that's his handle.
Right.
You can go see some of his work there, or you can email him at crystalforms0 at gmail.com. And when you visit Barbados, you can go to shop number 17 at Pelican Craft Center, and that's where you'll find Jamal and where you can purchase some of his amazing pieces. So we've spoken about your pieces, Jamal, and now we're going to give the audience the opportunity to see some of the incredible work that you've done. So thank you so much for joining us today, Jamal. Look forward to getting one of your pieces and start to think about that lamp you're going to create for me.
I have an idea of
price. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's Jamal Eiffel from Crystal Forms in Barbados. I encourage you to go by and pay him a visit at the Pelican Craft Center. But now, let's take a look at some of Jamal's work, as well as some additionally talented artists in Barbados.
my name is Shanika Grimes, and I am an artist and art teacher, and also a craftsperson. I paint beautiful things, and I make things to accommodate art at different levels and craft items as well. Artist Made is about the artist making things to serve the market in an accessible and meaningful way. I feel like artists need to be sensitive to different levels of people who have an interest in art, from kids who want to learn to adults who want to be entertained, doing something different with a lasting memory. Our online classes, camps, and parties have been particularly successful in this current environment where the world is online. We make craft for persons who collect unusual accessories. To people who want their home or office to be beautified, Artist Made engages everyone. You can even honor a lost one who has passed away or someone you want to celebrate in this life. Art touches everyone. I just want to share the power of art.
Thanks so much. Welcome back. We're so happy that you're joining us here for Passport DC at Home, Cultural Tourism DC. They've been doing an incredible job, and they wanted to ensure that you still enjoy Passport DC and all that it has to offer, even though we're doing it virtually. And I want to remind you, later this year, you'll be able to come and visit us in person for Passport DC. So once again, thank you for joining us for Passport DC at Home, and we can't wait to welcome you to the in-person event, which will be held later this year. We've just interviewed some of the talented artists in Barbados, and up next, we're also going to learn more about some of the incredible work of another notable fashion designer on the island. And to help take us on that journey, please join me in welcoming Janice Whittle, who's interviewing fashion designer Wayne Smith. Janice?
Wayne, welcome to Queen's Park.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for agreeing to be part of this art appreciation video series, because you have produced many works of art, not paintings, not sculptures, not ceramics, but clothing. And they really are works of art. You are such I guess one of our most wonderful creatives. And you bring so much attention to detail in the work that you do, that you become, in these ways, I find that you become part of the Barbadian tradition of craftsmanship. Now, how did all of this start for you?
When I grew up, there was a little sewing machine in the corner of the house.
Yeah.
But my grandmother couldn't see at the time, so I never saw anyone use it. And my father worked at a garment factory as a driver, and he would bring home little bits of fabric.
Right.
And I found myself stitching these pieces of fabric together, you know, a kind of patchwork thing, to make a decent sized piece of fabric
Yes.
so I could actually make something. So the first thing that I made would have been a skirt for my grandmother.
That's fantastic. And the fact that you were thinking of it in terms of creating a patchwork.
Well, I don't know if at the time I was thinking about creating patchwork. You know, necessity is the mother of invention, and the only way I could get a piece of cloth big enough to do anything would be to stitch these pieces together.
Oh,
And I think that now that has become part of my aesthetic.
It is, because look at this.
Even with the bustier, you know,
Yeah.
it is pieces of fabric that you wouldn't necessarily go and buy to put together.
No.
But they work. You know, over the years, I've learned to just make it happen.
Yes, this is so lovely. And the shirt you're wearing, which is part of this same idea of joining pieces together, you've shown is almost like a sample of the various processes in needlework. When you were very much several years ago, you designed the winning outfit worn by Rihanna at Miss Combermere.
Oh yeah, back in the day, yes. When she was at Combermere, her mother approached me to do her dress, and I'd never heard her perform, and none of that. But she was always a stunning person.
Yes, I can
was
imagine.
excited to have this beauty wearing one of my
Yes, of
dresses,
course.
and here we are now.
Detail is certainly, attention to detail is a big part of your work, because the every little stitch is of great significance. The patterns that you put together, the patterns of fabric that you put together, which we might not necessarily think of working together.
Right, but also detailed in terms of finish. I remember at community college, I had a tutor by the name of Joyce Price, and she could identify a puckered seam from well across the room, and you would see her hurrying over and going, "What do we have here? What do we have here?" You know, so she really taught me that it was important to make sure that your finish is clean, and then on the inside, literally had to be as exciting as the outside.
We
So
should be proud of you, because that's one of the things that is always said about your work, that you could wear it inside out.
when I started to make garments, I would always look at a garment that I had access to, something that I could pull apart. And in my mind, I would try to visualize the shape of each component. So what would that sleeve look like open? So I would make a little drawing.
Yes.
In my from what I would think that would look like, and then I would compare the two, and so that became a part of how I did things. So it was so easy then for me to be able to capture all the different shapes that I saw around, because I would have taught myself to pull these things apart in my mind and to
That's amazing.
create, yes.
The bustier as an undergarment existed, I guess, from very early centuries ago. But and as when you see those objects in museums, they in themselves are very beautiful. And then in about, I think, the 80s or so, it became an outer garment.
My interest in the bustier goes right back to my grandmother again. It was interesting to see that your at-home grandmother was so different to your grandmother that was going to church or to a wedding or anything. So my grandmother had the deep line bra, they call them, and me and my brothers sometimes would have to help hook the back of it. And so I witnessed this transformation that this foundation garment could create on a body. And over the years, I have done that with my garments, but my thing was that I always wanted to explore that and bring it to the fore, so that it is not that hidden secret that keeps you together. It's now part
Of the outfit. It can be seen.
Yes. So even in my costuming, you know, you would see boning and stuff like that, and it's there to be seen that, you know, it's no pretense. That's a bone. That's a bone.
Your choice of fabrics, and the fabrics, all of them, I believe, are African wax prints. And the combination, you're getting both contrast with the dark blue as well as the lighter greens and yellows and so on, and the fine line of the ribbon that binds them together is really just so like a wow effect. You managed to make that outfit as something that was not a costume, because there's a very thin line between wanting to be use some kind of fabric that is used traditionally as part of a national dress or a country's costume and so on, and someone else from elsewhere who likes it wearing it, and the designer not turning it into a costume. And you succeed very much in that, because in the past, we would, in the 60s, say, we would simply have worn traditional, very traditional African dresses. Those of us who wanted to link into our African identity in a more visible fashion. But yours, you have taken it, you've made it into something very original, very different, very exciting.
I don't set myself any sort of barriers in terms of what may be seen as a traditional fabric for an evening gown or whatever. It is, you like that, that's what you want to wear. I'm going to make sure it works for you. So my challenge is always to make the fabric into what you want.
Yes.
You know, it's easy for me to say, well, go get something more traditional. You know, I wouldn't have challenged myself, and what's life without a little challenge?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Welcome back. And the next area of focus is going to be on something that is born in Barbados, true to being a part of our Barbadian living experience. And it is something that has distinguished us around the world. And that is our rum. And I couldn't decide whether I would go for my 1703 Mount Gay rum, which is when rum was first invented. And Mount Gay is often characterized as the rum that invented rum. So I thought maybe I'll have the 1703, but that's best shared. So I decided that I'll pass on the 1703 today, save that for when I see all of you in Barbados. And I've decided to just go with my Mount Gay 1703 Black Barrel rum. So I'm going to make myself a cocktail, but I'm going to do that a little bit later. But first, we want to share with you the story of rum from one of our distilleries on the island, West Indies Distilleries. But there are also a lot of other award-winning distilleries on the island. We have St. Nicholas Abbey, which would have seen earlier in a video of the Abbey. We also have the Four Square Rum Factory, which is known for producing a tremendous amount of award-winning rums, which are available right here within the US. And of course, the Mount Gay rum, the rum that invented rum. So please join me as we take a look at the West Indies distilleries and their rum production. And then that's when I'm going to get my cocktail going, because we're going to have Philip Casanova showing us how to make a very special cocktail. And I must warn you, pay very close attention to Philip Casanova. He's an award-winning mixologist. He was the inaugural beverage winner at the Embassy Chef Challenge in Washington, D.C., and I can assure you it's going to be a really fun time mixing cocktails with Philip. So we'll look at the video first about rum, and then I'm going to get my cocktail shaken with Philip Casanova Antoine.
Hello, my name is Don Ben. I am the Master Distiller and Operations Manager at the West Indies Rum Distillery in Barbados. I have been making rum here for over 20 years. This distillery has been producing wonderful rums at this site for almost 130 years, and our team is eager to carry on these traditions. In our famous and very secure vault, we have maintained accurate records of our history over the years. These documents show the techniques we have used to make our rums very special. Our aim is to demonstrate all of these historical techniques in the rums that we create for the world. To give you a few examples, our distillery has used different types of wood in the past for maturation. Even recently, a retired employee reminded us we were aging some of our rum in vats made of cedar wood. In the old days, we also know from our vault records that rum was not only colored using commercial caramel, but rather through the use of burnt cane sugar. This technique was peculiar to many distilleries and done out of necessity. We still have intact an old copper cauldron from the 19th century that was used in this way. Our plan is to use it again for this very purpose. For those of you who don't know, our distillery is located right on the beach in Brighton Black Rock. It was therefore no surprise to discover in our old documents that sometimes we fermented using a percentage of seawater. Trust me when I say the taste profile of seawater rum is unique and very delightful on the palate. This distillery owns one of perhaps 2 remaining 19th century chamber stills in the world. Whilst it was dormant for many years, we were able to resurrect it in June 2018. This was a momentous occasion for all of us here at the distillery. This still makes a fantastic rum. If you get an opportunity to experience it, I'm sure you will readily agree. All of this information and much more is housed in our vault. The partnership with Alexandre and Maison Ferrand gives us an opportunity to spend more time making the rums that we love and to revive the techniques that we are now rediscovering. These techniques are part of our heritage, deserve to be recognized as part of Barbados rum history. Our distillery has been an integral part of the incredible Barbados rum journey since 1893, and we are very strong in our beliefs and desire that it remains part of our country's future. The whole team here is very passionate about making rum. We're all excited to be part of this story and know we're amongst the lucky few who get to live it every day. From the people who have been here for more than 40 years to the one who've only just joined our company. You can clearly see the pride we take and the joy we experience in doing what we do best. We would enjoy welcoming you here and showing you what we do. You can experience a culture like no other, and you can visit all of the distilleries on the island. Each one has a part to share in the great heritage of Barbados rum. But the trip will only be complete when you visit West Indies Rum Distillery, the great distillery in a great place.
Hey, how are you doing? Yes, how are you doing? Just want you to know that we are missing you. I'm missing you, and we're missing you over here in Barbados, and we can't wait to see you guys again. So, I know some of you may know this familiar smiling face, others may not. But to those of you who don't know me, my name is Philip Casanova, the mixologist, not the infamous lover of roommate. Well, at least that's my story and I'm sticking to it. But I'm a culinary ambassador for Barbados and I'm also an award-winning mixologist. So with that said, I'm going to create for you today a beautiful libation and we are going to call it Citrus Elegance. No, it is simple, easy to replicate, but I'm doing this one for you to bring a piece of Barbados to you. All right, so very easy cocktail, just like 4 ingredients, well 5, and very magical in flavor. So I got my Boston glass so that you guys can see as it goes on the inside. What we have here is some grapefruit juice. So we're going to use 3 ounces of the grapefruit juice, because just a fun fact for you guys, the grapefruit was actually invented right here in Barbados. So the grapefruit juice is one of the citrus elements within our cocktail. We also have this wonderful radioactive looking liquid here. This is actually a lemon and lime syrup. All right, we're going to use just 1.25 ounces of that. The wonderful thing is, as you can see, that by adding that, we get this beautiful color right here. Right over here we have some Barbados white rum. Of course, it can be a Bajan cocktail if he ain't got Bajan white rum, or as we say here in Barbados, see-through rum. All right, we're going to use 1.5 ounces of our rum on the inside, and this particular rum actually is the Mount Gay Silver rum. No, you know, it's called Citrus Elegance, sorry. So we have grapefruit, we have a lemon lime syrup, but what is going to bind all these ingredients together is one of my favorite ingredients, that is coconut essence. You can use coconut extract as well, but we have the coconut essence, which is actually produced, this one here is produced right here in Barbados. So we're going to use 3/4. And if you smell the aroma coming from this, I love it. It's beautiful. It adds great flavor and wonderful aromatics. Now, to finish this off, to add a nice silky texture to this cocktail, we're going to add the white of an egg. Yes, I know. Some of you are saying, no, not the egg, or I had you till that point. To be honest with you, I'm actually not a lover of egg as well, but when it comes to cocktails, you're going to see exactly the magic that it does when it comes to a drink. So we're going to seal this up and give this what we call a dry shake. Now, dry shaking is basically shaking your cocktail without ice. So we dry shake to emulsify the egg and to get that nice fluffy foam on it. All right. With that done, now we're gonna wet shake, which is simply adding some ice. Now guys, although we didn't happen to have a crop over this year, for those of you who've been to Barbados, you already know it is crop over all year round in Barbados, because we have fun, we drink, and we party. So while we ice that up, I'm gonna add some ice into this glass as well to chill it, because we're actually going to serve this cocktail straight up. So we put that to chill, we get some music, and we so it's nice and chilled. Woo! It smells beautiful. All right, so with our glass chilled, we get rid of that ice, set that one up nice, put in the Hawthorne strainer to restrain the ice, and we pour it all beautiful and nice. So we pour this in on the inside. Woo! Gorgeous. Now, as that settles, you're gonna see the color kind of gets more vibrant at the bottom, while we get what seems to be a wonderful white cloud on the top of it. But remember, it's called Citrus Elegance, and in Barbados we are known for vibrant colors, you know, from the turquoise oceans to the coral sand beaches, but we are also known for our wonderful vegetation, especially our tropical plants and flowers. So I eased on into the garden, I got a nice locally grown rose, and we're gonna just drop her right on the top of that beautiful cloud. And look at this beauty. Look at this amazing beauty. Simple, elegant, beautiful. As you can see, we call her Citrus Elegance. Guys, I can't wait for 2021 to see all of you right here in Barbados with me. And like how we say in Barbados, hurry up and come, because we in the lab and I got enough rum for us to drink. So it's your boy Philip Casanova, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Cheers.
Philip Casanova, and I can't wait to drink my cocktail after. I've certainly tried to ensure that I made it exactly as Philip did. I'm not sure how successful I was, but I know for sure that I will enjoy that great cocktail that he just made. Coming up, we're going to be giving away another prize to Mango Bay Hotel in Barbados. But before we do that, let's just have a quick recap. We're at Passport DC at home, and it's all about sharing all the amazing culture and the unique and quintessential experiences that Barbados has to offer, as well as our distinct heritage with all of you. But just some quick reminders for you. We can't wait to welcome you in Barbados. And getting to Barbados from the US is easier than ever before. Our key gateways are Miami International, Boston, Charlotte in North Carolina, JFK, and Newark in New Jersey, with all offering seamless connections from all across the US. So go ahead and visit our website, visitbarbados.org, to learn a lot more about the things you can see and do while you're on the island in Barbados. But now is the moment that I'm sure all of you have been waiting for, and that's for another winner to be announced for that 4-day, 3-night stay in Barbados at the Mango Bay Hotel. The Mango Bay Hotel is an all-inclusive property, which means that your meals and your rum are all included. So the winner of the 4-day, 3-night stay at Mango Bay is Anne Brown. Anne, we can't wait to see you in Barbados. I can assure you there's some great times waiting for you on the island, and you certainly will enjoy your stay at the Mango Bay in Barbados. We've looked at some of our extraordinary chefs. We looked at the story of rum, and we've also learned and heard from some of our talented artists on the island. But there are some very youthful and new artists in Barbados that have been playing their craft and making sure that they continue to perfect their respective talents so that they can offer you something unique and exciting when you visit Barbados. Firefly was created to provide a forum for these artists to show their work and also to display their talent. So next up, sponsored by Firefly website, we're going to see some of the up-and-coming Barbadian artists and learn about their incredible talents as well. So let's go over to the Firefly.
Welcome to FireflyBarbados.com. The Firefly Project is a marketing platform designed specifically to showcase emerging talent within the Barbadian creative economy. This project is spearheaded by the Barbados Coalition of Service Industries and features creatives in art, music, and fashion. The art section of the Firefly Project, curated under the direction of Alanis Ford, is dedicated to providing commercial opportunities for upcoming visual artists in Barbados. The 2021 cohort of the Firefly Project features 4 young artists who specialize in the medium of paint. Firefly 2021 features a cross-section of artists representing different musical genres and appealing to different demographics. Featuring neo-soul, R&B, gospel, and hip-hop artists, an aim of this particular cohort was to show the versatility and diversity of musical offerings on the local scene. Coordinated by Agnes Jordan, this section is sure to have something to please a wide cross-section of local and international audiences. Focusing mainly on the ready-to-wear segment, Firefly 2021 seeks to showcase the work of these designers utilizing backgrounds and creating aesthetic that portrays their designs as wearable art. Would you like to be featured? We at the Firefly Project are always on the hunt for new emerging talent. Contact us at info@bcsi.org.bb.
Welcome back. So visit thefirefly.com to learn more about those incredible artists. I'd like to thank the BCSI for their support of Passport DC at home. Up next, and this is another segment that I'm very excited about, and that's because we're going to have the opportunity to show you why Barbados is that picture-perfect destination. When I think of the island, I always think of the contrasting coastlines that Barbados offers to visitors. So on the southern and on the western coast, you get to really see a lot of the amazing beaches that we have on the island. You go over to the east coast of Barbados, And I mean, the rolling hills, the absolutely picturesque beauty of the East Coast is something that I definitely would recommend that you visit while you're on the island. If you're an avid surfer, that is perfect for surfers as well, because, and I would have mentioned earlier that there's never a dull moment in Barbados, because whatever your interests are, if it is heritage, culinary, if it is just water sports, you name it, you can find something to meet your ultimate desires in Barbados, because we have a lot of diverse attractions and activities available for you to do. But persons say a picture is worth 1,000 words. And next up will be a feature with Janice Little, with Adrian Richards, an amazing photographer on the island. Amazing photographer on the island. So please join me in welcoming Janice back with Adrian Richards to basically have a great look at some of his photography.
Adrian, it's wonderful to have you here to talk about Aquatic Club.
Thanks for having me.
Which I think is one of your lovely, great pieces. And it represented Barbados in Carifesta 14 in Trinidad and Tobago last year, and was certainly very well received. Now, I've always wondered, when did you first become interested in art and photography?
I was creative from very young.
Yeah.
I did art at HC initially. I'm largely self-taught, but obviously at HC we had art teachers there. I remember my primary school teacher was a lady called Miss Cox, who was very influential on me in general. She really pushed education and creativity and that stuff when I was in primary school.
Wonderful.
I remember that.
So how did you get into photography?
Well, okay, so I was in dental school, and the beautiful thing about my dental school was that they allowed you to take classes at the other schools on campus. This is University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia. So you were allowed to do art.
Yes.
You could do art. So for my last couple of years, I was doing an art class every semester. So here I am doing dentistry on the one hand, and I'm doing painting on the other, or I'm doing sculpture or such like. So that I was lucky in that respect. Also going to university in Philadelphia, there are wonderful galleries and museums, the art museum, the art shows that were available. Also, key was the Institute of Contemporary Art. And I remember going to that for the most controversial show that they ever had, and that was a showing of Robert Mapplethorpe.
Oh, well, yeah.
Soon, like right before he died. And there were protests. There were protests outside that exhibition. And I remember being so influenced by the whole history of it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah?
Why did you choose this particular location?
In my work, I would say over the last few years, I've been working on this idea of Black men, Black Caribbean men, Black Bajan men, how they're portrayed, how they're perceived, the beauty of them.
Yes.
I was trying to capture an idea that I had of the regalness of Black men. And
that comes across.
But then also there was this idea of knowing your place. And the morning started with us shooting outside the bell tower on the Garrison. So that then near the ending of the shoot, I was like, you know what, I'm not really feeling that we've got what we set out to get. And I said, you know, the Aquatic Center, that beach, the history there, right?
Yes.
And that's how we ended up down there. I think it's a very ironic piece.
Yes.
And we're almost sarcastic.
Yeah.
Because
his expression.
Right, because it's as I said, the whole regalness of him.
Yes.
But yet he's in a space where 60 years ago, he would not have been allowed to be in.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And, you know, so I think there's a little bit of that there as well.
And also just the whole composition is bringing your eye towards the figure. So it's wonderful composition because there's the horizontals of the sails and the the house on the jetty.
Right.
The building on the jetty. And the verticals all lead to this figure. And around him, close to him, you've picked up all the details of the texture of the sand and the light and shade on the sand and all of that kind of thing. It really is, it's quite splendid. And in a way, he's bringing us into the scene by looking with a self-assuredness, which I think is utterly great.
Which brings up what I said earlier about knowing your place and this question of place for Black people in the Caribbean. Is it our space, or is it a space that we should be thankful that we're in? Are we sad about not having a full understanding or being welcomed into this space? Or do we have a sort of cheekiness or cheeky attitude towards our position? Like when he looks back, is he not saying, you know, I know my power, I know my strengths?
Yes.
Right?
The expression on his face, to me, says a lot. It's, I know I'm gorgeous. It's defiant almost.
Right.
And he's wearing a crown.
Right.
And he's wearing this gold watch and the shoes and the beautiful texture and the pattern of the fabric.
Right.
Which strikes me as an African fabric.
It
I'm
is.
not sure if it is.
It is, yes.
It seems like one of those
The
wax
Dutch
prints.
The Dutch wax
prints.
prints, yes. I think a part of it is also that we're in the now. There's a past.
Yeah.
But where are we going in the future? Are we going to claim our identity?
Yes.
Are we going to claim our worth or what's due us?
Yes. True.
Right?
Yeah.
Are we going to do that?
Yes.
So I think the second photo, this one here, kind of says that more than the first one. And that was the mullet instinctive, and I told him to turn around, and he gave me that.
Yeah.
But this was the first pose, the Andrew Wyeth pose.
Yeah. So many questions. There's so many layers you could bring to this. Is he looking around, reminiscent of the fact that I was a king? I'm a king now in a different kind of way. And you have presented the body beautiful in that. And you successfully conveyed that in my looking at it.
Right.
Because as I said to you, it reminded me when I saw it of Olympia, where Olympia is just looking defiantly into the viewer nude, and there is the black maid in the background. And now the roles are reversed. All those people in the background are the white tourists.
Right.
And here is the guy who maybe was a king on the beach, and the line of the body is very beautiful and sensuous.
Right.
And the chocolate brown, the tones of the brown in his skin, it all comes across so well. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back, and now it's time for us to get out of our seats and enjoy great Barbadian music. And one of the things that I'm always excited about, and I know that will excite you when you visit the islands, that you will feel our music. You will really get to enjoy your experiences with our people at a great old Barbadian party, or if you're there for our Crapova Festival, it's even sweeter. So the next artist that we're going to bring and present to you today is none other than Damien Marvey. For those of you who might be familiar with him here in the US, you might know him from I Know Your Face. And that really is about a song that you're in a party and you see someone, but you don't remember the name, but you know the face. And that's so familiar for so many of us here. So I am delighted to present to you for the first time being shown here in the US, Marvey Unplugged. Please join me in welcoming Marvey.
What's going on, people? Good vibes to you. My name is Marvey. I could forget it all. And this is the excellent, incomparable 2 Mile Hill music. You want something to smile about life. Think of every tribulation that you get through. Take a wine on the side now. Enjoy the vibes. Soak up every little moment, yeah. Cause when you think about it, you don't know the next man's story. Sometimes we try so hard to fade away we worries. Just to clear your mind, you inside of every line. That is how the thing designed. For how long now? There's a place where everybody goes, all the way. In a fete where all we friends them close, where drinks and music is the antidote. And it does fix you, and it does fix you. I could forget it all, I could forget it all, yeah. Forget it all in here, forget it all in here. I could forget it all, I could forget it all, yeah. Forget it all in here, won't think about it. It might not happen right now, give it time. You've got to have a little patience. It will improve, get it off of your mind now. Must be a sign. Just hold your head up as you go in, yeah. Cause when you think about it, you don't know the next man's story. Sometimes we try so hard to fade away we worries. Just to clear your mind, you inside of every line. That is how the thing designed. For how long now? There's a place where everybody goes, all the way. In a fete where all we friends them close, with drinks and music is your antidote. And it does fix you, and it does fix you. I could forget it all, I could forget it all. Forget it all in here, forget it all in here. I could forget it all, I could forget it all. Forget it all in here, won't think about it, no. I could forget it all. Give me that. Say whoa. I could forget it all in here. Wherever you are, sing this for me. Sing whoa. I could forget it all in here. One last time with me. Whoa. I could forget it all in here. Yeah. Say whoa. I could forget it all in here, yeah. This for the warriors, yeah. Oh, give me, see me. I never see so much obstacles before. I gotta pray some more. I gotta try and forget about it. I never say I'm perfect, and yes I fall, but I'm gonna again. See, my journey will never go in vain, no, no. And that's why I gotta push and go through, you must push and go through, you must push, yeah. When my fire burns, you can see it from miles away. From the flame is called my destiny. The road might be a little muddy, but cut and go through like Juve. Along the way I might stumble, but remain humble. I'm not ashamed to say that yes I fall, but I'm gonna again. See, my journey will never go you must push. Push and go through, you must push. Push and go through all the way, yeah, yeah. I never see so much obstacles before. I gotta pray some more. So what? So let me go back to me jam, 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 jam. Hey, hey, ha, hey, ha. My greatest concern is to not live in misery. So it's best I jam cause we have a chemistry. Been doing this a long, long time. It's my remedy for peace of mind, yeah. And even if you stumble, just remain humble. I'm not ashamed to say that yes, I fall, but I'm gonna again. See, my journey will never go in vain, no, no. Yes, I fall, but I rise again. See, this journey will never go in vain, no, no. And that's why you got to push. Push and go through, you must push. Push and go through, you must push. Push and go through all the way, yeah, yeah. You got to push. Push and go through, you must push. Push and go through, you must push. Push and go through all the way, yeah, yeah. I never see so much obstacle before. I gotta pray some more. I gotta try and forget about it. So let me go back to me jam, 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 jam. Yeah, yeah. And yes, I fall, but I'm gonna again. See, my journey will never go in vain, no, no. Yes, I fall, but I rise again. See, this journey will never go in vain, no, no. And that's why you got to push. Push and go through, you must push. Push and go through, you must push. Push and go through all the way, yeah, yeah. You got to push. Push and go through, you must push. Push and go through, you must push. Push and go through all the way, yeah, yeah. All the way. Much love and respect to Mighty Gabby. Classic. You tell me to forget that my grandmother was born right there, so alright, I say I shall go. You tell me to forget, it is there I want my own children to grow. Alright, I say I shall go. And I hope you understand how I feel about Everton, my homeland, my homeland, my homeland. And I hope you know it's true that I will never forgive you, because look at what you do to my Everton, yeah. You tell me to forget that you uproot my people and scatter them to and fro. Alright, I say I shall go. Yeah. You tell me to forget that you did them wrong things and you didn't want my children to know. Alright, I say I shall go. And I hope you understand how I feel about Everton, my homeland, my homeland, my homeland. Yeah. And I hope you know it's true that I will never, never, never forgive you. tell me to forget. It is my grandmother that born righteous soul. Alright, I say I shall go. 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 Can't forget me, people, man, yeah. Can't forget me, Everton, yeah. I can go. This song is a true story. Memories. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Wa da 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 da. Ba 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 da da ba 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 ba. Yeah. If I could talk to you for a minute, say what I feel for you, would you hear me? 'Cause I've been racking my brain. Ooh, since last we spoke, I've been thinking something has made me turn around. I'm such a clown. I know I'm faking, but now I know this was all in the making. Oh, 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 oh. You're like a new idea since you came my way. You're like a new idea. I was drowning in sin. It's like a new idea. Oh, so bright. No, no, no. Yeah. Just when I'm feeling low and things are getting hilly, you grab me by my arm and tell me to not be silly. 'Cause you have so much faith in me. Yeah. Then amidst all the clouds, some brightness starts to peek out. It takes away the weight, the fear, and my doubt. And I can see so clearly now. Hey, yeah. You're like a new idea. Since you came my way. Yeah. It's like a new idea. I was drowning in sin. It's like a new idea. I had so much pain. It's like a new idea. I found that you brighten my world when you are around, my girl. I see the light in your eyes and I feel like I could, yeah. You flashing light bulb, my flashing light bulb, yeah. My light bulb, I love you all, I love you all. Hey, hey, hey. New Yeah. Much love to the music lovers. Yes. Sing with me. Yeah. I could count every grain of sand on the beach. Wanna be more than every waving hand in the street, yeah. Please pardon me if I don't know your name, but I know the face. Last time I saw you, you was in the middle jumping up, having a time. I could see you winding up that place from miles away. On a truck singing a song, you know every line to it, but I ain't hear you when you call. Hey, I may not remember your name, but trust me, I know the face. I know the face. Hey, I may not remember your name, but trust me, I know the face. I know the face. Oh, you look familiar, I just can't tell you from where or when. All of we is family, it don't matter. I know you're my friend. Might forget your name along the way, okay, but just in case, I know the face. If I could track every foot that chipped down the street, could trace it back to a fit that I was in, yeah. It's all the way he was there outside the gate. What when them let me in? Last time I saw you, you was in the middle jumping up, having a time. I could see you winding up that place from miles away. On a truck singing a song, you know every line to it. Oh gosh, I may not remember your name, but trust me, I know the face. I know the face. I may not remember your name, but trust me, I know the face. I know the face. Whoa, you look familiar, I just can't tell you from where or when. All the we is family, it don't matter. I know you're my friend. Might forget your name along the way, okay, but just in case. You look familiar, but your name just slipped me, yeah, your name just. I just can't remember at all. Don't make no difference once you're right here with me, just stay right here with me. Let this moment sink in your heart. Whoa. Last time I saw you, you was in the middle jumping up. I can see you winding up, yeah. On a truck singing a song, you know every line to it, but I ain't hear you when you call. Hey, I may not remember your name, but trust me, I know the face. I know the face. Whoa, I may not remember your name, but trust me, I know the face. I know the face. Hey, you look familiar, I just can't tell you from where or when. All of me is family, it don't matter. I know you're my friend. Might forget your name along the way. Alright, this one for us to sing together. I know you're at home, but let's do it together. Sing. Whoa, whoa. Sing for that one note and again so. With me. Whoa, whoa. Little tricky for that one. Sing with me. Let me go. Sing. Whoa. People that just want thank you for chilling with us, giving your heart, your mind, your ears to 2 Mile Hill and myself, Marvin. Appreciate you taking the time out of your day. Could have been doing something else, listening to anybody else and listening to us, and appreciate that. So thanks for checking it out online, wherever you are in the world. We can get through this mad time, man. Just stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up, and keep up, keep up, keep up, keep up with things. Keep up, pick up. I may not remember your name, but trust me, I know the face. We can make it. I may not remember your name, but trust me, I know the face. Yeah.
I know the face. I'm definitely enjoying Marve, and that song, I may not remember your name, but trust me, I know the face. And I hope that when you come visit us at Passport DC, when it's live in Washington, DC at the Embassy of Barbados, that if you don't remember my name, you see Skeet, that you come and you say to me, I don't remember your name, but I know the face from Passport DC at home. I hope you enjoy that as much as I did. I had to compose myself and sit back down to get ready for the next segment, but I really enjoyed listening to Marve. And when you come to the island, you can enjoy a lot more of our cultural artists as they perform their own music for you to enjoy. Up next, we're going to hear from the Barbados Archives. These are individuals who can help persons who might have roots to Barbados that they're not sure of. They know there's some connection. They really want to explore and learn more about their roots. As you know, Barbados has a lot of linkages with the US. We look at the Charleston connection, which is where the only colony that founded the colony. So if you, for some strange reason, might have some roots back in Charleston, South Carolina, it might be a great opportunity for you to come back to Barbados or come visit us for the first time and actually be able to learn about it. For you to engage directly with our partners from the Barbados Archives, I encourage you to visit the Sessions tab, which is to the left of your screen. So you'll see the Stage tab. Right below it, you'll see the Sessions tab. And there you can go learn all about the Barbados Archives, what they can do to help persons who are trying to discover or trace their roots in Barbados and learn more about their heritage. It really is a great experience when you go and you really are able to uncover things that you would never have thought you would have learned about your own family. And I know so many visitors to the island who've had the ability to do so, and they left feeling so renewed and refreshed at the fact that they've been able to find another place that they can call home, because that's what Barbados is. Barbados truly is your home. We have Barbadians who live on island, Barbadians who live abroad in diaspora, and then we have Barbadians by choice, which are some of you who come every year to visit us at the embassy for Passport DC. So join me now as we feature another artist on the island, a young lady who's extremely talented and who have burst onto the scenes just a few years ago, and she continued to dominate in a very significant way. So please join me now as we watch this feature on Barbadian talented young lady, Rhea Lane.
Rhea Lane that's like the hardest question, because I think nobody really knows who they are. I'm gonna get deep too early. I think I'm gonna be getting deep too early. But what I know for sure is that she is an attorney at law. She's a singer, she's a songwriter, she's an entertainer, and she is just here to show the world, how to entertain. So I don't really think it's too far-fetched, a combination. A lot of people go to school and mommy and daddy's like, you have to go to school and get your degree. Not saying that the majority of people who do law don't want to be lawyers, but a lot of us at school are definitely creatives. So yeah, I came out of my mother's womb singing. As far as I'm concerned, the first thing I knew how to do is sing. Like my aunt Kim Derrick, she was she is a singer. She was in a band called Virtuosity here in Barbados, and everybody used to talk about Kim the Powerhouse, and so I grew up hearing her. My mom can also sing, even though she's not a singer. She was always singing in the house. She used to sing in choirs at church and whatnot. And then of course my sister, she too, Chantal, she too is a singer and a songwriter. So, and her being a few years older than me, I had the benefit of watching her, do certain things, performing and stuff like that. So in terms of the inspiration, there's no shortage of it around me. And I think it just gave me the confidence to say, well, this is what I definitely want to do for the rest of my life. But I think from a very young age, I always knew that, you know, music or being on stage, performing is something I always wanted to do. So yeah. I love soca. Oh my god. I love soca. I love carnival. There's no genre of music that makes me happier than soca. Like, none. When I was younger, I used to be like really into dancehall. Like when dancehall was really dancehall, I was like heavy into dancehall too. But now it's like there's nothing like soca. Like soca's bring people alive, bring people together. You don't see a more unifying genre than soca music, and why would I not choose something that is so happy? You know, I just love it. It's just meant me. It's feel good music. Lynchy said it best. Feeling sick, play the soca. Feeling sad, play the soca. Like, soca's just lit. It's just lit.
Just wine on the speaker, broke out and wine on the speaker, yeah. Just wine on the speaker, broke out and wine on the speaker, yeah. Just wine on the speaker, broke out and wine on the speaker, yeah. Just wine on the speaker, broke out and wine on the speaker, yeah. Come down, the selector, make the girl them walk up the bumper. Do the dog on the playlist, lick up the paling. Girl bored through the crowd when they hear this. They're not in the mood to be poetry. I some gone from the head top. Bassa bassa in the place when the tune drop. Just wine on the speaker, broke out and wine on the speaker, yeah. Just wine on the speaker, broke out and wine on the speaker, yeah. Just wine on the speaker, broke out and wine on the speaker, yeah. Just wine on the speaker, broke out and wine on the speaker, yeah. You gonna behave, yeah. You's got to behave, yeah.
We are back at Passport DC at home, coming live to you right here from the beautiful island of Barbados, and we can't wait for you to escape to Barbados with us. There's so many incredible things to do, see, and experience in Barbados. And earlier I would have mentioned about the Barbados Archives for those of you who might want to be able to trace your roots and have a greater understanding of what would have transpired when many persons left Barbados years ago to go over to the Carolinas. And here with me today is Mrs. Ingrid Thompson, who will be able to share a little bit more with you. So please join me in welcoming Ingrid to Passport DC at home, Escape to Barbados. Hi, Ingrid, how are you?
Hi, good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Awesome. So I am someone who lives here in the US, and I want to come home and, trace my roots. Genealogies, I know that's something that so many persons are focused on, especially now more than ever. Can you first tell us what's your role at the Barbados Archives?
Well, I am the chief archivist at the Archives Department, which basically I have to ensure that our historical records are preserved for generations to come. So we collect historical records that have maybe legal value, administrative value, and so on, that we would preserve at the Archives Department.
Awesome. So I see that the Archives Department was actually established in 1964, and you started to provide a public service from 1965. But you have records that date all the way back to 1637. Is that correct?
Yes, we do. And I'm very proud to say that, because Barbados was settled in 1627. So to have records still in existence from as far back as 1637 is very good. And we have a wide variety of records, and we have government records, we have political records on all types of subjects that you can think of, whether it's science, geography, agriculture, and so on. We have a whole set of records here at the Archives Department.
Well, that is quite impressive, and it means that you have a mammoth but very important task of making sure that we continue to keep those records safe. So my next question for you is someone who might not necessarily be connected to Barbados in terms of their roots or having any family history there. If they still wanted to come and basically get a history lesson and be able to see some of these records, is that something that's accessible to the public?
Yes, it is accessible. We're operating now because of the COVID pandemic. We're operating by appointment system, but however, if persons request to even get a tour, that is possible. And we also do talks and lectures and so on that we can provide that information.
Oh, wow. That's very, very interesting to learn. So I hope that my next visit to Barbados, you can give me a personal tour. Because I know
I can do that. You see, as I said, even the site where the archives is located, we have some history down here in terms of the architecture of the buildings, and we have great plans for the archives department coming up. We're looking to launch an ancestral research center on August the 1st, and our launch should be virtual. So we are hoping that persons will be able to log in and able to see what we want to do, because there's a Barbadian everywhere. You know, there's a saying that you can find a Barbadian everywhere, and it's so true that you can find a person with Barbadian ancestry anywhere in the world. And we have a lot of history on this 166 square miles of land space. And you know, we would have had immigration and so on from as far back, even during the slavery period. So we would find we have a lot of connections, as we would say, in relation to Barbadian ancestry.
Wow,
and I'm sure you'll see that this will be interesting to you, and you being a part of BTMI in terms of pushing this genealogy tourism. So that is what we are working. As you know, I work with Maj Dalrymple at the Barbados Tourism Management Inc. In terms marketing Inc. Sorry, and we try to have events and so on relating to genealogy research and so on.
Well, you're absolutely correct that it is of very special interest for me personally, but also I think for a lot of Americans here, which is the market in which I represent. And I can assure you that genealogy tourism is something that we certainly can continue to expand upon and invite persons to come and discover so much more. But I'm very curious, and there's something you mentioned that really caught my attention. And you spoke about your site being a historic site and it being unique. Can you tell us exactly where the archives is and give us a little bit more about the structure and the building that you're talking about? You said that is quite unique. Can you share a little bit more about that with us?
Yes, we're located in Black Rock. Well, our postal address is St. James now, but we're originally Black Rock, St. Michael. And we're located in buildings that were housed we're referred to as the Lazaretto. And this is where persons with leprosy, where they resided. So the whole building is built in terms of specific architecture and so on. And almost all the buildings are built the same way, the same size, and so on. So, but we're inviting persons to come to Barbados and have a look. And I'm sure that when they come, they'll be able to be provided with all that information.
Perfect. Your opening hours, you said, I know it's by appointment only, but currently what are your opening hours for the Barbados Archives?
Yes, well, our opening hours now, we start in relation to the appointment system is from 8:30, and we do it in 2-hour slots. So we have 8:30 to 10:30, 11 until 1, and 1:30 until 3:30.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So
and also too, you see when you visit the archives, we have our design of our main courtyard. That was designed by a lady named Mistress Gilbert Carter. She was the wife of the governor at the time in Barbados in 1907, around 1907. And it is designed in the shape of the Union Jack. Yes, our main courtyard is designed in the shape of the Union Jack.
that must be a sight to behold. And I'm sure those watching today, whether they're from the diaspora or Americans who are tuned in today to Passport DC at home, I'm sure that they will certainly enjoy coming to visit the archives and seeing the amazing architecture, as well as the sites that you have available, as well as learning about a lot of the history and going through those documents as well. But I want to zero in a little bit on the genealogy part. And you spoke about the opportunity for persons to come and learn more, because all over the world, people are connected to Barbados, as you put it. Can you share with us what that process is like? So I'm coming to the island, I've took a flight, I've flown into Barbados, gone to my hotel, put my bags down, grab a bite, and now I'm coming to the archives to meet with you or one of your team members to kind of start the process of tracing my roots. How does that process start? What does it entail? And how long is the process before they can actually find some real results?
Well, you see, genealogy sometimes is not as easy as it sounds. First thing you have to make up in your mind to have some patience. Because if you've now arrived in Barbados, you should call the archives department and make an appointment. But when you're coming, please come with as much information as possible in terms of names of relatives, names of your ancestors, any dates of birth, maybe a date of marriage, a date of death, because you have to have some date to start with. You can appreciate that we have records from 1637. So you do not want to look through all of those volumes in order to find your ancestor so you have to have some idea of when the person was born, married, or when they died. And when you come to the archives, the staff in the research room is there to assist you in terms of how to use the records themselves. So for instance, if you had an ancestor that was born in 1896, you will look for that person's baptism record. And usually on that baptism record, you would have the name of the mother and the name of the father once the parents were married. If they were not married in those days, you could only put the mother's name. It's not like now that if two persons are not married, that the names can be put on a birth certificate. In those days, that could not be done. And what you will usually do is look for a marriage certificate if they were married, and that certificate will provide a bit more information in terms of where they live, the age, the father of the bride and the groom, and so on. So you can use that information then to go further back. But also too, we have a lot of records, not only births and baptisms and marriages and burials to undertake genealogy research, but we have like wills, we have inventories, we have deeds. So there are a whole set of records that we have here that you can do family research. We have educational records and so on. We have records from the Anglican Church. So there are a lot of other records that can be used to undertake your family history.
Okay, I was about to throw a challenge to you, Ingrid, and see if you could have traced my family history live here on this broadcast. But now that I realize it's so involved, I'm not going to put you on the spot and challenge you to do that. But I certainly, when I come down, because I actually think it's so interesting. Yes, I was born in Barbados, but it actually could be quite interesting to really go back and learn more about my ancestors. So I certainly will come down to the archives and visit you so that I can learn more about my own Barbadian family history. But is that something that is available to individuals for free? Is there a fee to come to the archives and to utilize the services of the archives?
Well, not as yet, but will be soon, because preserving our documents is a very expensive process. And this is something we have to do in continuity. So we have to be able to earn some income. And not only that, we're undergoing a digitization project whereby we have started to digitize our records. It's a very expensive process. So hopefully by the end of the year, you'll see you will be able to, I will be able to take up you on that challenge where we'll have things online or so on that you'll be able to search for your family history there and then. So just listen out because we'll be doing a lot of things relating to genealogy and so on. And as I said, we're going to be launching our Ancestral Research Center on August the 1st, 2021. And we have a lot of exciting activities will be happening throughout the year. And so we're really looking to push this. And not only that, to get Barbadians and persons aware of our Barbadian history. And we also would want the viewers that to understand that the archives is not only about genealogy research. We have, as I remembered when it was last at your Passport DC in Washington, we had a lot of persons querying academics querying Barbadian history, especially during the Atlantic slavery period. So we do have a lot of information on that period. So we cater to persons from universities, professors. Almost all the major universities in the United States contact the Archives Department in Barbados for information. So we don't want the misconception out there that we are just about family history research. We are about Barbadian research, Barbadian history.
I think that is absolutely incredible, Ingrid. And I mean, just this discussion alone has opened my eyes to so many opportunities that exist for persons really to come and have that historical context, because you guys have been able to do such an incredible job at preserving those very important records. I now will make sure that on my next visit that I certainly come by the archives, because there certainly seems to be a lot to discover there. And the digitization, I love that as well, because I certainly think that helps you to continue to preserve the records. It makes it a lot easier as well. So that is something that I hope that you will keep us informed about. Whatever you're doing at the Barbados Archives, whatever opportunities exist, I certainly encourage that you share it with us so that we can come and experience it firsthand, or share it with persons here who we believe can benefit from that information. And I think you might have a couple of your team members with you. I want to commend them. I don't know if they're hiding or where, if you can just see a quick.
No. I have Maj Dalrymple here from BTMI.
Hi,
everyone. Good to see you too. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. Thanks for the amazing work that you continue to do. I think this is so important for us to be able to have persons to have access to this kind of information. And I want to really commend you and Ingrid and the entire team for the incredible job that you're doing, and we look forward to supporting it. Someone is asking in the chat if there's a cost to access the records. Currently, there's no cost to access the records. So my advice to you is that you get down to the island as quickly as possible, pay us a visit, and let Ingrid or Madge or anyone else on the team assist you with being able to get the information that you're looking for before they start to charge that fee for the services that they provide, which I think all of us can agree is certainly an immeasurable service. So I really want to thank you, Ingrid, for taking the time, and thank you, Madge, for joining us for Passport DC at Home, and for making such a meaningful contribution to the preservation of Barbados' history. So before I go, I just want you to, I'll give you the opportunity, if there's anything else that you want to share with our viewers, now is the opportunity for you to do so.
Yes, I just want them to come to Barbados. Come to Barbados and experience, visit the archives, use our records, learn about our history, learn about our culture. We have a lot of heritage sites where persons can visit. If you're doing your family history, you can actually go and visit some of the places that these persons would have lived and work and so on. And we just want persons to experience what Barbados is all about. It's not only sun, sea, and sand, but we have a lot of history. We have a lot of heritage. We would have been connected to South Carolina. A lot of our people went from Barbados to the Americas, North America, Latin America, the Caribbean, Europe, all those are places. So I just want persons to be, and also to understand the importance of our historical documents. You know, some persons may say, oh, the archives is a place I have a lot of old musty documents, but we have a wealth of information, some very important documents that we have in relation to helping us to understand our identity, who we are, where we came from. You know, there's all this talk about identity crisis and so on. And I'm sure that when persons consult these records, they're going to fully understand who is a Barbadian, what we are, our values, and what we stand for. So I hope at the end of this process and as we open our Ancestral Research Center, we're going to be launching our groups. We are going to call them Heritage Warriors and getting the youth involved, because we find you read that the youth do not really understand a lot about our heritage and our history and so on. And I think that before I retire, I would like to be able to get some young people involved in archiving and conservation and all those sorts of things. You know, I can talk from now till tonight, but I'm not going to do that because I know you have some other things that you need to get in before the time is ended.
Yes, well, thank you so much, Ingrid. I could not have said it better. What I find so interesting is that as a chief archivist, it is clear, even after all these years, because you're talking about retirement, I still think you're a long way away from retirement, but I find it so interesting that you can still see the passion, you can still hear it in your voice, you can see it on your face as it lights up as you talk about these things that these archives and what we've been able to preserve for such a long time. And I think that in itself brings me joy as well. So thank you so much for the contribution.
You see, this is the only place I've ever worked in my life. I've been working here for 35 years now. So it's all about archives.
Ingrid, you're not just a chief archivist, you're a national treasure.
Thank
you so much for the amazing job that you've been doing. I really appreciate you joining us today. Madge, thank you as well. I know you play an integral role from the tourism perspective in ensuring that persons understand what is needed and how they can come and experience from a genealogical perspective, learn more about their ancestral roots. So thank you as well for all that you're doing. Is there anything you want to share, Madge?
It's a very exciting project, although I'm very new to it, working with Ingrid for the past 7 years or so. I find it very interesting, very exciting, and very satisfying. So I'm sure other persons will.
Awesome. So for those of you who might still have some questions, for persons who have some questions about genealogy, about the archives, etc., please don't hesitate to just go to the sessions tab, click on the room Barbados I come from, and that's where you can speak more with Madge, and you can also speak with Ingrid and learn more about your own history or about Barbados's history, because Barbados's history is what is truly preserved at the archives in Barbados. Once again, thank you, ladies, for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you very soon in Barbados.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We certainly are a small island of Barbados, but as you can see, we're doing incredible things. Our people continue to be at the forefront of pioneering and revolutionizing the things that we do on the island. And it certainly is a destination that I am so proud to be a part of. I'm so proud to be a Barbadian. And like I said at the very beginning, when you visit Barbados, it's like coming home, because you can come as a visitor, but you certainly will leave as a friend, or you can choose to make Barbados your home away from home. And that's something that we offered through our Barbados Welcome Stamp initiative. And the Barbados Welcome Stamp really is an opportunity for persons who, as so many persons have moved to remote work because of the COVID-19 pandemic, that you can actually come and work remotely from the island of Barbados. We're home to one of the fastest fiber optic cable network in terms of internet accessibility. We have great experiences available, but most importantly, it's a place that you can feel safe and that you can fully immerse yourself into the entire experience. So you can work by day, play at night, or you can have your next meeting from the beach right in front of you. You can enjoy all of our many beaches on the island. So the Barbados Welcome Stamp is definitely an opportunity for you. You can visit barbadoswelcomestamp.bb to learn more about how you can work remotely in Barbados. And I'm just going to share with you now a brief video about the Barbados Welcome Stamp program. So please enjoy this Welcome Stamp video, and then I'll be right back for some more entertainment and for some more amazing experiences that truly defines Barbados. And it is clearly why Barbados is still the most revisited island in the Caribbean. And we can't wait to welcome you to Barbados, either for a leisure vacation or to work remotely from our beautiful island. And just in case you've forgotten, Newark, New Jersey, JFK in New York, Charlotte, North Carolina, Miami International in Florida, as well as Boston in Massachusetts, all airports with non-stop service on JetBlue Airways, as well as American Airlines, to the beautiful island of Barbados.
I live in Houston, Texas. I'm an attorney. I am the head of a law firm. We have 8 lawyers and staff. We do work all across the country. So on a typical day before the pandemic, I was traveling every week. When the pandemic hit, suddenly my very broad world of travel every week turned into just my house. I did not leave my house for 4 months. The numbers, the coronavirus numbers in Houston were very bad, and so there were hundreds of cases just in my neighborhood. So we did not go to even the store. I ordered all my food online. We did not go to a restaurant. We really did not leave the house for months. Arriving in Barbados was incredibly efficient and organized. There's a complete building that's dedicated to people arriving now. It has very good signage, lots of people to help, and they tell you exactly what to do, and they walk you through the process of entering the country, being coronavirus tested, and it was really well done. The interesting thing is, when we arrived, by the next morning, the Ministry of Health had called me, set up contact information with me. They provided me with thermometers to take our temperatures every day. We recorded it and we would text in our temperatures. The Ministry of Health called every 2 or 3 days to check in on symptoms. So you really felt like this was a country that was taking the pandemic seriously, had very strong protocols in place, and was very efficiently dealing with it. It's like being at your house where you're living, indoors anyway, except that it was at a beautiful resort. They had 4 restaurants that you could order from. The food came piping hot very quickly to your door. And in the afternoons, you can sit on this gorgeous balcony and look out at the sea. I couldn't do that in Houston. I had been sitting looking at the exact same living room for 4 months. So it was a very pleasant experience. Yeah, I thought if I got down here, it was going to be hard to get groceries. It's not. The grocery stores have everything you need. Many places will deliver to you. I thought if I broke an electronic, I wouldn't be able to get, something to fix it. But the second day I was here, I broke my mouse and I went up to Sheraton Mall and bought a new mouse. I was back in business within an hour. I was worried about whether the internet speed would be fast enough. It's better here than it was in my house in Houston. I was worried about power outages. We haven't had a single one since I got here. So everything I needed was here. There are so much accommodation choices in Barbados right now because the tourism trade is slow. You can rent an apartment, a villa, a house. You can live in a neighborhood. You can live on the beach. There's a wide range of price options that you can choose from. It's a buyer's market and you have a lot of choice. I get so many emails every day of, I can't believe what you just posted. Are you really swimming? As soon as you finish work every afternoon, I get a lot of jealous emails. and texts from people saying, how can I come to Barbados? Is it easy? How do I do it? And I tell them it's really easy, just take the first step. Just book your flight, get online and come down here, and it will change the way you feel about 2020. Hi, I'm Zoe Littlepage. I'm a lawyer from Houston, Texas, and I decided to move to Barbados 6 weeks ago to work remotely. Moving to Barbados has been an easy experience. The transition has been incredible for our mental health, and everything was so organized that it's been very comfortable to come and live and work here.
Wow. And just looking at the ocean behind her, she was speaking, I'm like, oh, to be there right now. But guess what? You all can be there in Barbados. You can escape to Barbados with us. We are open and ready to welcome all of you to our beautiful island. And for those of you who are from the diaspora, we're ready to welcome you back home as well. So next up, one lucky winner will have the opportunity to not necessarily work remotely based on this price from Barbados, but they'll certainly get to visit. And who knows, if you're that lucky winner, you have the ability to work from home and you can work remotely, then you just might stay on the island. So next up is a prize for 4 days, 3 nights at the Sands Barbados. So the Sands Barbados will be offering a lucky winner 4 days, 3 nights accommodation. And the winner is randomly selected Mr. Peter Stebbins. You will be joining us in Barbados for a 4-day, 3-night stay at the Sands Barbados. We look forward to welcoming you. I hope that you would have heard all the airport options available to you to fly out from Barbados. You will just need to have your negative PCR test, which is required 3 days prior to travel to Barbados. If you're fully vaccinated, once you arrive on the island, you will get a test upon arrival. Once that test is negative, you can go on out and enjoy the island and all that it has to offer. But most importantly, you get to go engage with the amazing people of Barbados, who today still remains our very best asset. So now we're going to take it to some music. And Ilan Trotman is known as a phenomenal jazz saxophonist. He has done an incredible job at fusing Barbadian music and utilizing his incredible talent to tell the story of Barbados. Based out of Boston, Massachusetts, Ilan has actually created his own Barbados Jazz Excursion, where he brings a lot of other notable artists to Barbados with him for this excursion every year over the Columbus Day weekend. It's called the Barbados Jazz Excursion with Ilan Trotman. And I must tell you, he is one of the most talented musicians that I know. But one of the things that I really admire about Ilan is that he's not just a musician. He's a teacher. He's a philanthropist. And he's also an avid golfer. So every year when he hosts the Barbados Jazz Excursion, he welcomes people to the island from all across the US to come enjoy the amazing music of both him, Ilan Trotman, and friends. But more importantly, he hosts a charity event for the driving of his charity, which is the Ilan Trotman charity, which trains for free Barbadian children who are then able to play all different kinds of musical instruments. And I think the gift of learning to play a musical instrument is one that is absolutely incredible, and it contributes significantly to the personal development of any child. So we really want you to sit back, enjoy, get a drink. Hopefully that preferred drink is some rum, Barbados rum, I hope, and enjoy the sweet sounds of Ilan Trotman. And then I encourage you to join him this year in Barbados over the Columbus Day weekend for the Barbados Jazz Excursion. So just sit back and enjoy it with me, the Ilan Trotman. Thank you so much. And as I said, the phenomenal Elan Trotman, who continues to make a difference both through his music, but also on the lives of so many Barbadian children, hosting the Barbados Jazz Excursion with Ilan Trotman this October over the Columbus Day weekend on island in Barbados. So if you can join us, please join us for the Ilan Trotman Jazz Excursion. What a remarkable day today has been. And I often like to say life was not created in Barbados. It was just perfected here. And my advice to you is to come and master the art of fine living in Barbados, because Barbados truly offers every single unique and quintessential experience that you will want to discover or enjoy on your vacation in Barbados. And for those of you from the diaspora, when you return home, certainly enjoying all of the favorites and the things that have certainly continued to make Barbados unique and stand out throughout the Caribbean. This Passport DC at home could not have been possible without some incredible support from some of our ministries on the island. And I really want to take the opportunity to call out some individuals who have contributed to today's success. But before I do so, I want to also underscore that this is just a little glimpse, which I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you, of all that Barbados has to offer. You would have got a taste of our cuisine, our culture, our heritage, definitely some of our music. You've seen some of our local crafts. Man, I mean, you've really had an opportunity to get a 360-degree view of Barbados and all that we offer on the island. Travel to Barbados, as I said, is open. We can't wait to welcome you. If you want to learn about our current protocols, that's barbadostravelprotocols.com. Currently, in the sessions room, you can continue to engage with our Barbados Archives Department partners who can share and answer any questions that you may have. But I want to now invite Mandisa, who's going to join me on screen. She has played a very important role with Tricia, who's not currently on screen, in leading this project from the Embassy of Barbados in Washington, D.C. And Mandisa, I just want to thank you for all that you've done, as well as Tricia for all that you've contributed to making Passport DC happen. I know it's so difficult to transition from an in-person event to a virtual event and still try to encapsulate all that Barbados has to offer. But we'll just use this as an appetizer to whet the appetite of all those who will be joining us in person for Passport DC later this year. I also want to thank the Ministry of the Creative Economy, Culture and Sports, and Sharon Johnson, who's played a immeasurable role in assisting us with Passport DC, the NCF, who's represented by Andre, who's not on screen as well, the Archives Department. You would have met Ingrid. You would not have seen Simonetta, but she was here with us as well. And you would have also met my colleague from the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc., Majd Dalrymple, who's also working on a special project with the Archives Department. Our partners from the Barbados Investment and Development Corporation, who are integral to ensuring that the exportation of Barbadian products continue to be positioned at the forefront. They're also integral to ensuring that our artists, you would have met Shanika, you would have met Jamal earlier as well, and you would have also seen some designs from other individuals. And that is the work of the Barbados Investment and Development Corporation, trying to get our artisans far and wide and sharing their immeasurable talents with all of you. Also, I certainly have to thank the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. for the incredible job in promoting Barbados, keeping Barbados top of mind, and facilitating you when you come to visit our beautiful island. None of this would be possible without Cultural Tourism DC. They have been a phenomenal partner from inception. They do such a great job at ensuring that the cultures of all of these unique countries that are home-based in DC with their embassies, their representation in DC with their embassies, that persons can come in and experience it through Passport DC and a lot of other events that they host. So I really want to say a very special thank you to all of them. You did not let May pass by without offering Passport DC, even though it was Passport DC at home. I certainly enjoyed it, and I hope that all of our viewers enjoyed it as well. So a special thank you to you for organizing all of the Passport DC events for the entire month of May, and we can't wait to participate in Around the World Embassy Tour later this year. So the last thank you, which is a very important thank you, is to all of you, our viewers. So many of you, and I was looking at the screen and I'm seeing that we've had over 7 countries, individuals from over 7 countries attending today's Passport DC at Home. And I really want to thank you for giving us almost 4 hours of your day. I know it's very difficult, especially for those of you who are in the Northeast where it's nice and warm and sunny, to sit back and just immerse yourself into this Barbados experience. But this would not have been possible without you. You were the reason that we were here. You're the reason that we have put all into sharing this Barbados experience with you and being able to fill your soul with all of the unique attributes that Barbados has to offer. So thank you so much for being a part of it. I want to thank our hotel partners, the Sands, Mango Bay, as well as the Sandpiper for so graciously extending those 4-day, 3-night stays to our 3 lucky winners who we can't wait to welcome to Barbados. And just in case there's someone who I might have forgotten, I just want to say thank you to all of you. And another very important person who has been behind the scenes, you've not seen her at all, but she has played an integral role in ensuring that today's event was a success from a technical perspective. And that is Ashley Moore from Creative Junction, who has been absolutely phenomenal. So thank you so much to all of you for joining us for Passport DC at Home. Thank you for escaping to Barbados with us. And let's make a plan that your next experience with Barbados will be in Barbados, immersing yourself into all of the local culture. And I can assure you, it will be an experience that you will never forget. And I know you will come back to visit us in Barbados. This has been incredible. Thank you. Everything that you've seen here today is a true representation of who we are as a people, because it truly is who we are. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Shines in our hearts. Hey, it's our world. We must hold on hand in hand
and lift up our fellow man, showing love in every land.
Oh, oh, oh.
This is who we are. We know we can do this together. have to separate so we can get back together again. And if you're ready, let me go. Alright.
One world, so we have to live together. One blood, looking out for one another. One love, to me sister and me brother. Even if you're rich or poor, white or black, it doesn't matter.
We've been tested before. Out victorious we came.
What we know for sure, we will rise again.
Together, better, stronger.
When the world closed, our hearts opened. When fear ruled, love also deepened. When borders closed, boundaries widened.
With no choice in one voice.
Let the whole world rejoice, from near and from far.
This is who we are.
Cause this is who we are. Cause this is who we are. Love bridge the distance between us. Let the whole world know that love is also infectious. Let love overflow. Cause this is who we are. Cause this is who we are.
Love will always bring us together. Love will always see us through. This is who we are.